Hey spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. Now, where we left off, we had more or less built a sort of passenger network, and I wanted to try and show you guys a more advanced way of playing. Now, what we were doing, there was nothing wrong with what we were doing there on a sort of general level, but there are better ways to play the game, basically. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to work on some stuff. Let me see if I can find... There's some settings. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to change some settings, and we're going to play a more advanced type of scenario. So I need to actually go through my settings here and make sure I have everything turned on correctly. So graphics is fine, sound is fine, interface, construction, that's all fine. Yep. On-screen keyboard, yeah. And then the news advisors, that's all fine. Company automatically built semaphores. Auto renew is on. Auto renew minimum money is on. Accounting, all that stuff is on. Just fine. Right. So the running cost is actually supposed to be set at. So this is what it's usually set at when you start the game. What we're going to do is we're going to put on infrastructure maintenance, and we're going to keep it on low. That means it'll be more expensive to... So the vanilla is off and low, so we're going to have it on and low. So we will be paying maintenance for everything that we build. So it makes the game just that little bit harder. In terms of vehicles, the realistic simulation is all fine. Sparks, yep, all that's fine. Limitations, allow non-construction actions. This is what we're going to change. So we're not going to be doing we're not going to be pausing this game. That's going to be the major difference of how we play. We're not going to be pausing, and we're going to be trying to limit the amount that we fast forward. So maximum bridge height, these are limitations. So number of trains per company, 500, 200 aircraft, 300 ships. So the maximum station spread is going to be 20, and the maximum length of trains is going to be 15. Allow join stations not directly connected. Disable electric rails. Enable the requirement. Enabling this setting disables the requirement. Okay. And that's limitations. Disasters and accidents are on. I don't think vehicle breakdowns or crashes are fun, so I don't play with them on. World generation, we're going to handle that in a moment. Environment, let's have a look at the authorities. So the towns, yeah, this is what we want. We want all of these things on in the... Now the town growth is going to be normal. There's also going to be, we're going to be building our own towns if we so feel like it. Industries, there's going to be the ability to prospect for new industries. There's going to be, all of that seems fine. Cargo distribution. Yes, saturation of short paths before using high capacity paths. I think what we will do is we'll set that to 70, and what this will mean is so basically when a passenger is going to a place, they will go the shortest route possible, okay? Whereas if you change the saturation, once it hits like 60% saturation, they'll start to look for other routes to get to their destination that might have a higher capacity. And I'm thinking 60% is about a good time. Settings this is behave more like an asymmetric one. Okay, so distribution accuracy. The calculation, if it takes too long, you mean there's lag. So I'm going to set this up to 18, just a couple of smidges up. And let me see, whenever your calculation started, the thread is probably allowed to run for a number of days. And I'll put this up to 18 as well. This should decrease in performance and this should increase performance. So hopefully those two things are going to balance out. That's cargo distribution. There was one thing I wanted to do with regards to towns, and it was their... Where do I get to their road layouts? I think I've already set that up. Basically, towns should build roads rather intelligently. Anyway, so we spent 5 minutes setting up the actual game, but we're not quite done yet because we're going to be playing a 1024 by 2048. How do I turn on AI competitors? Let me see. I wanted to have some AI in this game. Computer players. Play scenario. No. I want to see. How do I get competitors on? So what I wanted is I want a very low number of towns, so I want the towns to be quite spread out. I want a very low number of industry, so I want the industry to be quite spread out. I want the terrain to be, rather hilly. I want the variety distribution to be, fairly various. I want it to be reasonably smooth. Just for kicks, we'll put this up to 75 so that we can have really big mountains. Maybe it'll decide to make some big mountains. And we'll go with a low sea level. Okay, that should do the trick actually, so let's generate this. And this has created what I consider a fairly interesting map. Now this map is gigantic, like I'm talking, this map is huge. In fact, it might be too big. Let me actually really quick, I think that's too few towns. I'll put it up to low. Low is, I think low is more reasonable. Let's have a look at this particular one. It's like a roguelike. You get to re-roll a couple times until you get a good... Yeah, this looks more reasonable. Although, now there's too many towns, I think. But I think this is more manageable. No, I think that's too many. So let me go in here and I will go back to very low. Okay. Not funny, only very low. Okay. Okay, so let's pause the game here while we look around and make some decisions. Yeah, this actually seems like a pretty good spread of towns and stuff. There's plenty of room between them. So here's what we're going to want to do. We're going to want to pick two towns, essentially. Preferably cities that are across the continent from each other, and then slowly work our way towards connecting them. Probably the very first thing we're going to do is find a nice, good money-making route for cash. So actually, you know what? The sea level thing, I need to lower the sea level again. Let me go in here. This was a good map, but I think the sea level is too low. I don't like it when there's too much water in a map. I like to try and keep water to a minimum. And I think that's a little bit more reasonable, actually. So, okay, we have a map that we like. Let me get rid of these town names. Yeah, this looks much more reasonable. You can see there's quite a decent amount of hills that we're going to have to play around. There's quite a lot of industry. And let me see if I can go into the industry map mode. Okay, there we are. So let's get started with a coal mine. I think coal is always like a good starter thing to work on. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect up some of these stations. So how do I want to get started here? I think probably the big thing to do is to find a power plant that's has like a decent amount of room. Oh, it looks like there might be one way over here. Has a decent amount of room around it. Unfortunately, it's kind of in a hilly area. We want it to be in a flat area if possible. This is actually a good candidate. So I'll tell you what, I will pick this as my destination of choice. And we're going to connect this coal mine with this power station. So let's get started on that. So let me get started here. I'm going to go ahead and grab, we're going to do a 7 length train track. I think a roll-in, roll-out system works best if you go right up to here. Oh, can't build while paused, right. So we want this to be here. Now let's see, are there any coal mines nearby this one? No, there are not. So I'll tell you what, instead I'm going to connect up. I'm going to start, I'm going to have a sort of secondary connection here. No, we'll have a feeder system over here. That's a bit far, I might not make that. So what I'm going to do, I'll get started with this coal plant over here. Let me go ahead and grab that like that. And then we'll just drag, oh, wrong tool for making the railroad. So we're going to want to go pretty much straight here until we get fairly close. So I'll go up to here. You want to avoid going up too many hills. Sadly, I don't have much of a choice here. Just because I chose a very hilly map. Let me connect these up. Quite an expensive job we're doing here. We can reclaim some of the money from this infrastructure. And don't forget, this infrastructure costs us money while it sits there, doing nothing. So we want to move quickly. So actually what we should do is swing back over here and very quickly get our train going. And we'll just start with a fairly small train with 2-length train. Go here and full load. And then go to there. Alrighty. So that should do the trick. It'll start loading up some coal here, and then we can finish off building the track. What we're going to want to do is, as we start making money, we're going to want to start evening out this terrain so that our trains have less trouble getting from point A to point B. So we're not really considered too heavily on throughput here. I will get a second train though. And then I want to get the exit signals. We'll have this be the entrance. We want to connect like this. No, turn around. Yes. Like so. Why have you stopped? Why is this red? Wait, stop. Why aren't you going to the, go? You should be able to go across. Wait, no, stop that. Go across. You should be able to go across here and there, right? Oh, I have them in the wrong order. God damn it. Did that happen to this guy? Ah, now it makes sense. Okay, there was a screw up. These trains are going to be quite slow. So we will watch this guy as he goes. It's going to be quite a slow start to the game now in comparison to our last one. But it should work out. So we're going to go through here and see if we can edit out some of these kinks in the road. Because each little up and down makes it that little bit harder for this train. You can see every time it goes up a hill, it loses a few kilometers of speed. It picks it back up fairly quickly, but all these ups and downs aren't healthy for them. So let me go ahead and grab... you need to be facing that way. I'm going to drag you all the way out. As expensive as that is, it needs to be done in order to make sure the trains flow correctly from point A to point B. Okay, so we are going to be making edits to this over the course of the game, so but for now this should do just fine. Let me go ahead and change you to an entry signal, and then we want an exit signal over here. And then we will do this. I'm by no means an expert at this game, but I like to think that I'm reasonably knowledgeable and reasonably competent at the game, at building networks and so on and so forth. We can drag this all the way to about here. And then, you know what we will do? We will clone this again. We want the trains to be moving fairly regularly off the mark here. See, this one is already just over here. And so when they arrive, they should be worth, a reasonable amount because they're moving quite quickly. Now, coal doesn't really lose much value from being slow, but getting this first delivery in will start to earn us cash that we can use to expand our network. It's only 20,000, but so 4 of these little baby trains should do the trick. So now we need to look at our map mode. Where's the next closest? Well, there isn't one really that connects to this guy. So that's unfortunate. But what we can do is we could set up a thing here. We want to speed up time. Let these trains start to move out and generate us some revenue. And I'll clone it once more. Oh, I need a little bit of cash. I'm going to take a loan. And I will get you to go. Alrighty. Oh, turn this off. Right, so this should be about the right number of trains that we need. We might be one train too many. No, it looks like we've got a good balance here to meet the demands. Yep. So it looks like we are fully transporting maximum efficiency here. So now we can start using this money for other purposes. So probably the main thing we're going to want to do is connect this station up with a whole bunch of other ones. So let me see. Are there any coal? Is there any coal out this way? And there is. How about this coal over here? Where are you? See if I can't find you. Should be center of the screen now. There you are. You make quite a bit. No, there is stuff you can do, like you can go industry directory, and you can go like sort by production. And then you can look through here and you can see a lot of these farms are high stuff, but here's like a really high production coal mine, like Ruston coal. Where is this? It's all the way over here. So this particular trade route isn't really doing a whole lot for us right now. It's mainly just covering all of our costs. So actually, I don't think that's actually a really good position for us to start in. I'm thinking... Let's see. How do I earn some money? See if we can get this one connected up as well. We're gonna have to retool some of this, because what I want is I want them to come in this way and roll out this way, but right now I have a terminal situation which is going to have to change when this new train comes along. So let me... Ooh, actually, I could grab these 3 and deliver them over here. And you know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set that up. So let me go ahead and grab a couple of these smaller little terminal trains. You still get coal. Okay. And let me go ahead and I'll get them all to meet around here. I'm gonna get all three of these on the same page roughly. So can I move you one tile over then? And you'll still get the coal? Yes, yes I can. Okay, so this works quite well. Everything's lined up. Okay, so this is where the cross section is going to be. So let me do this. Right. So I like things to be just kind of symmetrical so that I can get all the goodness out of it. So this is going to be the in-road. This is going to be the out-road. Okay, so we have that established. Now we need to get that properly established. So if you go like this, see if I can't smooth this out a little bit. An expensive task, this. So if you're coming out this way, you're going to want to go this way, right? No. You want to go under and around. So then I need to do something like this. I need to make it a little bit cheaper for myself, tunnel-wise. Over here. You're going to want to come out over here. Well, you know what? That might not even be necessary because in an ideal world, this would be this way. Setting this up is difficult, let me tell you. Like that, that's what I want. And I will dip down here like that, and you will dip down like that, and then dip across. There we go. Okay, so this is the way back from the main terminus, which is going to be built over here somewhere. Okay. Why do these need to be connected? I don't think they do. Let me get rid of that. They need to go like this, actually, is what they need to do. That does need to be connected, because that gives a way for these trains to get back up this route. And then if I do this, well, really it should be something more like this. That's a little bit more reasonable, right? That allows, well, no. I messed this up a little bit. God, it's so difficult to make these intersections and stuff. We connect this up. Okay, this needs to go here, and two, like that. That's what I wanted to do, right? So this is, except it needs to be like this, because I want these guys to come in this way and go like that. But I also want these guys to be able to come up and go that way as well. Okay, so I think I have the signaling set up. Let me just set up the signal so that I know that things are all gravy. So if a train is coming from this direction. It can go straight, it can go left, which will make it go right, up to this way. Let me do the terminal X so that we know that it's a terminal. I will put a doodad here, and I will do a terminal shenanigan right here, and then I will do the same over here. This is just a basic little terminal design that I'm doing. Okay, so I'm starting to get somewhere now. It would really help if these were all on the same level. So what I will do here is I'm going to delete some of this track. Because it just makes it a little easier if it's all... Oh, that's too much. This is an expensive mistake I just made. It cost me a lot of money to fix it. So I should do it tile by tile. So this is going to be like this. Okay, that's a little more reasonable. Then the thing I want is the ability to go like this. That's too much turning. So I'll do this, and then this, and then that. If I do this sort of thing. Okay, that's a little more reasonable. So this is this way, this is this way, this is that way. So now the train will come in, it'll be able to go both directions. It's a little bit weird, the setup I have, but it's gonna work just fine. And then I want 2 exit signal sets and 2 exit signal sets. 2 exit. How are my trains over here doing? You guys still moving along just fine? Yep, looks like the timings are working out quite nicely. You've got that route saturated with regularly leaving trains. Okay, so this is the entrance, and this is the entrance. This is the exit that needs to go to here. This is the exit that needs to go to here. Need to have all of these properly signaled up so that my trains don't wait too long for any one location. Okay, then I need to drag this out over to around here. That looks good. Okay, so I think now this is ready to be connected up to a larger terminal station, which will be going over to here. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to be taking out a huge loan for this. So I will do that. I will take out a big loan, and then I will go like this. I'll be putting a very reasonably sized station here this way. It will be a simple 2-terminal station. It shouldn't take too much effort for them to get in and out. Then we will stick these. I will also put some of that way signals, drag these across so that the line is a bit smoother. And then we're going to put a bigger set of tracks here. And this is going to be the main freight train that goes pretty much straight through this mountain to over here. So considering we're going straight through a mountain, there's going to be a lot of terraforming involved here, which is why I took out the huge loan. So we're going to do as little damage to the mountain as we can. That tunnel is too long, but let me put down markers here and see where that comes out. So I want it to come out around here-ish. So let me put down 2 markers as I... so what height does that need to be? We'll figure it out. So let me go ahead and grab some down arrows here. And let me see, how far does that take to go? 60. 600,000. That's too much. So I'm going to have to push this forward a little bit. That would cost 37,000. 61,000. So I'll push that forward by 10. Boosh. How is it now? 460,000. So now I'll push this one forward a little bit. By 10. Trying to reduce the size of this tunnel. 270,000. That's still too much. There's still some cheap terraforming to be had on this side, so we'll go another 10. Now that's more like it. That tunnel there. 100,000. Well, how much would it cost me to terraform? So 140,000. So there's going to be 300,000 for this tunnel. How much would it cost me to terraform this? 1 million. So we're starting to hit the point where it's getting worth it to consider it. So I tell you what we will do. We will start to smooth out the hill gradually. Like so. And we might be able to climb this without too much issue. Let me see if I can get this just right. Like that. And then that. Nicely. Okay, so we might be able to make this work. How much is this? Now this is a lot of money to pay, right? Yeah, I understand that. But it'll earn it back over the years. So we have now a train route here. That we can use to make some decent cash. Let's do this sort of thing, smooth that all out, and then we will grab this. Now this isn't in range of that station, but we can use some trickery. We can use some very, very good trickery here. To connect it to our network. Boosh. Like that. Built a tiny piece of station, and now it thinks that it's in range of the coal. It's kind of cheating, but you know what? Lets me have a straight railway. And this was an expensive endeavor, and we're going to want to like get it all the way down so it's super fast. But the little Kirby ball train things, they should be able to make it up now. So let me go ahead and grab the very first... Not there. God damn it. Right here is where we want it. I want to connect these like so. Oh my goodness, look at the time. I tell you what, look, I'm gonna finish this all off in the next episode. So I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Please remember, if you want to see more of me playing Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe, you can subscribe to my channel to get notified when new videos come out. If you want to directly support the channel, please leave a like on the video. And if, and only if, you want to give me your feedback, go ahead and leave a comment. Other than that, I want to say I love you all very much. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.